Guys, we're back here with our guy Richard, man. Shout out to, again, you gotta say it, man.
La Foundation.
Or just go to Get You a Presa.
Get You a Presa.
T-Fit here with Fitbully TV. We can't ever talk about the good without talk about the challenges. And so one of the challenges that come with breeding, as Chris Moore has alluded to at times, is making sure you choose the right pup. Now, believe it or not, the ones that have been doing it for 20, 30 years, we still get it wrong. And I ain't been doing it that long, but a solid 15. And you go, man, I picked the wrong pup. And somebody will show you, man, look at this. I'll be like, hey, let me get that pup back real quick. It's not happening. And once they got the dog, it's over with. So he's going to walk us through some of the things he would breed out or challenges that he's facing or will face if he breeds or when he breeds his dog. So what are the things that are not perfect on it for you?
Okay, so good question again. Here we go. I'm going to show you from the back end of the dog.
He got the booty up ready to go.
Yeah, so if you look at the dog from the rear end, you see how the feet, this is what they call cowhoof. So that it should be straight. When you let it go, they don't naturally stack on its own. So when you look at the rear of a dog, the legs should be straight. So this is cowhoof because they slide it, come in some. So what I'm going to do, when I breed to a male, I have to make sure that the male doesn't have the cowhockness in the back of the dog because I'm just passing those genetics along to the puppies.
And what are some of the issues that you face with cow hockey?
It's just structurally not correct, and it hurts as far as athletic ability. So when you're talking about an athletic dog, when you got a dog that's cowhawk, the hips sometimes can be weak. We've tested her so her hips are fine, so if not, I wouldn't even breed her. Yeah. But it's supposed to slow down the athletic ability of the dog.
That makes sense. What's funny is when we ran track, you get in blocks, right? And the first thing that most people do is they step out. So if you have your foot turn like that naturally, what happens is somebody goes here, here, and here. So the trick is making sure you drop your knee in here, so when you come out the box, boom, that first step was here versus there. And that would slow down your time by 1/10 of a second when you run in 10.26 like I did one time.
Getting it.
Absolutely.
Getting it.
You go 1/2 of a second could cost me the race when you get to the high levels. And they don't play. And sometimes you see that thing, it'd be like this, and the only person ahead of everybody is Usain Bolt. Everybody else be close as hell. Yes. So at anywho, when he's talking athleticism, I told you I'm really good with the human body. That's where I've lived. I'm gonna die there because we told you about Pangea. But at anywho, is there any other things that you structurally?
Yes. So something else when it comes to this breed. See, it should have a completely dark mask. She has a black mask, but it should be darker. So when I breed her to another male, I'm gonna make sure that the male mask is dark, so it passes along the genetics of the puppies to help improve that.
Is that just an aesthetic thing, or just?
Yes, aesthetic things, and it has nothing to do with the performance of the dog. That goes with more of the breed standard. Yeah. So it should have a black mask. So you'll see a lot of Presas that don't have black masks, and the color of their head goes all the way down to the tip of their nose. Yeah. And what happens a lot of times where that's when you start crossbreeding dogs.
So you
start losing the mask of the dog.
And people, let me be very clear. I'm going to be the devil's advocate on one side, because I understand to a degree from a marketing standpoint why people cross things. I don't think it's a good idea, especially if you don't have a vision. So you're like, I'm gonna mix these two dogs with no vision, then you just got a fucked up dog. But if you're crossing to solve a problem per se, and you're creating something new, then so be it. The AKC just recognized some new little weenie dog type thing that's working is from somewhere. But what I do love is this man's talking about the integrity of the breed, and integrity, unfortunately, is not something that people stand with or on anymore. And some of you would challenge me to say, well, you don't either, because I used Merle to start with. This is a business, and I used it for educational purposes. I've already told you, nobody ever uses ego. It doesn't happen. You don't ever get to. I did what was necessary so we could build the business and communicate with you guys that, for one, for those that think Merle's an issue, the Arapaho Bulldogs, the Australian Shepherds, the Great Danes, these dogs have been Merle for years. The problem isn't the color or the dilution of color, it's the people.
Yeah.
It is the people who breed dumb stuff, like we had the deaf dog come out. Worst part is, guy comes out, buys a dog, loves the dog, don't realize she's deaf, ain't told he's deaf. Breeder didn't say that he took two Merles together. He tries to contact the breeder. He said, I wasn't even gonna complain like you effed me over. I was just gonna let him know, like, hey, Might not want to do that again. I got a deaf dog. Gets blocked, disappears, because that's the unfortunate part of the dog game. People breeding dogs they shouldn't be breeding, and they're uneducated. But I repeat, even when you challenge my integrity, I said everything I do is for educational purposes only. And I'm willing to step in the role of a scientist to not necessarily prove a point, but make sure you are educated on what points and how to do things correctly. The Presa is a very straightforward dog from my understanding.
Yeah, it is.
The American Bully's 20 years old and they still creating all kinds of shit with it. So you can't tell me that it doesn't exist when, for fact, why are there no Merle Pit Bulls? Because that dog been around for 200 years, and you never gonna get away with promoting that. That's not going to work. See, now that's an issue. Pit Bulls, a Merle Pit Bull, no.
Ain't happening.
That's not, you didn't see that happen. You didn't see that trend. I got this Merle Pit Bull. The Bully, 20 years, y'all still adding Borables, Mastiffs, Bulldogs, and everything else to see what you can get. They're coming out with pink Frenchies. Stop it. Stop acting like the American Bully's so true. It's not. It's not true. It's not a true dog. This here, how long is this? 1976 or something?
Shit, longer than that. Yeah, this centuries old. Like.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. So the Presa, this dog was actually bred by a guy that's been breeding for 40 years. And his father bred him, and his grandfather bred him.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's got history, people who honor the integrity of the breed, and the breed was defined like a pit bull 200 plus years ago in a sense. Therefore, all he has to do is continue to sustain the integrity of the dog.
Yeah, don't try to create something new.
Yeah.
Just perfect what it is.
A lab gonna be a lab, a German Shepherd gonna be a Shepherd.
And a Presa should be a Presa.
And that's also, as he said, get you a Presa, people.
Yeah.
We walked through a couple things that he's not fond of. Is there anything else you're not fond of on her?
Well, it ain't that I'm not fond of it, but something that I prefer to have better.
Yeah.
Is a bigger head. I like a little bit of a bigger head on a female. She has a nice size head for a female dog, but I want a little bit more shape to it for size.
Yeah.
But so when I match her up to a male, I'm gonna match her up to one that has a bigger head to get the dog a better look, but still proportioned and within the breed standard.
There you go, people. Well, as always, people, when you are breeding or breeding to better something or breeding in general, I would tell you, get out of there's this thing called kennel blindness.
Yes.
So you think your dogs are so good that they can't be better. Let me tell you this, if there was a perfect dog, it would end all breeding. You would have no reason to breed, and there's no perfection, just the pursuit of it. Therefore, it is imperative that we look at the truth in our dogs, our programs, and the opportunities to be better and communicate that with our both customers and to ourselves. So I can't thank him enough for outlining.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how you improve. You know where your flaws are. No different than sports. You know where you're lacking. You focus on that to make it better. Same thing with the dogs. I have to know where the flaws are in my dogs in order to better my program.
There you go, people. Yep, as always, take care of your dogs, people. Thank you for watching.
Oh yeah. Hey, and get you a Presa.
We gotta do a phone.